Next entrepreneur we feature on this webisode is a man who's converted his retail business into a bank, and since then there's been no looking back. Following a merger, the bank today positions itself as a customer-centric institution providing financial services through its subsidiaries. We're talking of none other than Vaidyanathan, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of IDFC FIRST Bank.
The son of an Air Force officer, joining the armed forces was Vaidyanathan's preferred choice of profession. But due to some medical difficulties, he had to give up on this dream. An academically inclined student, he took admission at the Birla Institute of Technology, Ranchi, and began his banking career with Citibank in 1990.
I think for us in that generation, actually, to just get a job was a really big deal. I think I must have worked day and night. Citibank actually was almost, let me say, pioneered consumer financing, consumer banking in the country. It was really a absolutely fantastic learning experience. I think I learned my ropes of consumer banking there. It just so happens that after that, over the next 10 years, I just saw a lot of it and grew into larger roles later.
After having worked with Citibank for a decade, Vaidyanathan decided to make a tough choice. He joined the ICICI Group to set up its retail banking business.
I do remember when I decided that I will want to leave Citi. My boss at that point of time really pushed me up, hold me in a hotel room until 3 in the morning and said that, listen, you're making a really big mistake, you're being silly in a multinational bank. Late Mr. Nanu Pamnani, he also had a word with me. But I think I was coming down from running a reasonably large book, let me say 1,500 crores, to starting from zero base again. And that was, let me say, the first climb down in life, so to say. But ICICI really took off. I think I started the retail business when the book was maybe 200, 300 crores. And I think by 2008 or 9, it was like over 1,30,000 crores. Mortgage was 80,000 crores, and ICICI was feeling very proud that it had almost caught up with HDFC. It was like one of those thrilling moments for our life.
During his illustrious career at ICICI Bank, Vaidyanathan went for an advanced management program to Harvard Business School in 2005, where he came up with an unconventional business idea.
So the whole idea was that to leave ICICI, acquire a non-bank finance company, acquire a stake in a non-bank finance company, and convert it to a bank. So we started financing, borrowing money at maybe 12-13%, lending at maybe 22-23%, and financing small entrepreneurs, kirana shops or small entities, etc. So that company became the tough part is to get equity. So we raised equity there. Now then we wanted a new name for that company. It's a listed company, so we had to rename it. So initially we came with a name called SDFC, SME Development Finance Corporation, like how housing development. So HDFC is. So we named it as SDFC. Then I figured out that Mr. Parekh won't be very pleased with this because then I came back and then we rethought it and came with the name called Capital First. So that's what happened.
In 2010, Vaidyanathan ventured down the entrepreneurial road, but the journey was marked with great struggle. However, Capital First landed a huge equity investment from Warburg Pincus in 2012.
I went after every private equity that was there in the country, and I kept pitching to them. I remember I went to Bain, I went to Blackstone, I went to Carlyle, I went to Barings. I went to Barings Asia, I went to Barings India. Many of those people would probably see the story and they would say, okay, nice story, why don't we meet? Let's meet in a couple of months. Now, I mean, my heart would stop in my mouth because for them 2 months is like for me 2 years because I was counting living by the day. So it's very hard. So during one of those deals, I went again to Delhi and met, I think it was OBC, and I tried to do a securitization transaction. So on the way home, I think coming with a 5:25 flight from Delhi, I met someone just by accident, sitting next to me. And those days, anybody sitting with me next to me on a flight, I would look around, I'd figure out if they are the sort of people who can do a transaction, however low the probabilities were. So this person happened to be from Warburg Pincus, and he said he's Narendra. So I asked him, what do you do? And he said, I said, man, Warburg Pincus, I've been trying to reach you for a while. You're really lucky. So then we had 2 hours. So I pulled out a napkin and I started scribbling a piece of paper. I said, look, our loan book is right now 2,000 crores, but in 6-7 years I can take it to 25,000 crores. This is the business model, this is the plan, can we do it? So I don't know what happened behind the scene, but actually a few days later, the country head, Vishal Mahadevia, and some of them, they landed up, they came to my office, and we went over the discussion, and it was a very straightforward conversation, and we just agreed on a deal.
But in order to convert Capital First into a bank, securing a banking license was paramount. In 2018, V. Vaidyanathan merged it with IDFC Bank.
Around 2017 or so, IDFC reached out, and Rajiv Lal, who was running the bank at that point of time, he reached out and said that, look, do you want to merge with us? To me, it was a very uncomplicated discussion. We just said yes. At the time of merger, IDFC had already got a bank license, and it was a domestic financial institution. So it already had already started raising deposits, but early stage. Capital First was a lending NBFC. It did not have any deposits. When you put the two together, both parties had assets. It had a banking license, but no real, early stage deposits. So the good news is that we really brought the bank together. I'm happy to say that many years have gone by, maybe 4 years have gone by. Our biggest success, if I were to call it so, is that we continue to sustain the strength of the brand. The brand has tremendously strengthened since then, I'd say. We are known as a clean, high quality corporate governance institution, and we grew deposits.
Combining the strengths of Capital First and IDFC Bank, V. Vaidyanathan laid the foundation for a resilient, customer-centric financial institution.
No matter what the pressure was from investors, from the market, from anybody, we were very, very, very clear about the fact that we were building a very high customer-friendly bank. Now, at the time of merger, we had this philosophy that we'll bring the two institutions together. Now, there are 2 operations divisions, 2 marketing divisions, let me say 2 technology divisions, and so on. So one of the things we told people is that in this organization, it is always customer first. We will do what is best for the customer, and then every structure has to align around that. And I think we did set up a philosophy that is a customer first bank. In fact, we called ourselves, our tagline in the bank is always you first.
With a market capitalization of more than 38,000 crore rupees, today IDFC Bank First is firmly established as one of India's most recognized and reputed banking institutions. But V. Vaidyanathan believes that there are many more miles to go.
If you just look at, say, 7 years from now, not like too far away, 2030, by good guess, India's GDP will be something like about $7 trillion or so. By 2031 is anyway 7 trillion plus for sure. India's consumer credit market today is close to about $600 billion. And by any guess, it will be close to about $1.5 trillion in 2030-31. Now, that's like a 3x, 2.83x, that's increasing from here. Now, even the agricultural market and the MSME market, that could be another $600 billion at that point of time. Now, in India, therefore, these are really large markets. Our bank has developed a deep specialization of over like 12 years now, lending to these segments in a safe manner with pretty low NPA. We believe that this is an unstoppable story. So our story is that for the next maybe 10, 15 years, as far as the eyes can see, keep playing the India opportunity. If India is going well and we continuously stay in the cutting edge of digitization, if we continuously make sure that culture is pristine, if we keep the quality of books pristine, this is a never-ending story.
Let's hear it from one of V. Vaidyanathan's closest associates on his strengths as a successful leader.
I think Mr. Vaidyanathan's biggest strength is his absolutely unrelenting restlessness for innovation and change, which in today's world is absolutely critical, because anything that worked yesterday does not need to work tomorrow. So this desire to improve, to innovate, is something which has to come from within. Now, management theory tells us that, innovation culture in an organization has to flow from the top, which is true. But even at the top, at a managing director level and CEO level, it has to be something you feel. You're not doing it because you need to do it. You're doing it because that's what you are. That's what you're comfortable with. And I think Vaidyanathan brings that to the table.
V. Vaidyanathan was named the EY Entrepreneur of the Year 2022 in the Financial Services category.